Hello folks, welcome to the lovely Riddings fishery. It's about 10 minutes from the M42 near Tamworth. Gorgeous little place, 4 lakes, and this is their summer festival run by my old pal Gary Rogers from On The Flyer events. And I'm stood behind a regular on the On The Flyer festival, Steve Brandist, and he's catching really well. I've been here no more than 5 minutes. I've seen him have a good carp and some silverfish as well. So what I thought I'd do is give you a little insight into what's happening today. We're on a lake called the Folly Pool today. It's a 2-day festival and competitors are fishing 1 day on each lake. So I thought I'd give you a little insight into what's happening and also some details about some other events that we've got coming up here at the Riddings. Now, I've just blighted Steve there with the famous curse of the camera. As soon as you start filming, rigs start tangling and fish start falling off. It's a well-known problem we encounter, pal, I'm afraid. But he's just fishing on the pole, about 11.5, 12 metres. Loose feeding casters, and as I said, he's catching some lovely fish. So hopefully I'll be able to bring you a bit of action while we're at it. So, what we're doing here today, well, as I say, it's a 2-day festival. It's the first one that we've run in the summer here where everything counts. Now, those who follow the channel will have seen plenty of films from the Riddings when it comes to silverfish action. We've done 2 festivals here over the past few months, one in November and one in March, and both, to be honest, were absolutely awesome examples of silverfish fishing. Steve Harwood won this lake on the last day of the last festival with 50-pounder skimmers, and I remember I got a good view opposite him. I had a big 40-pound myself, and it was just brilliant fishing. The problem with being such a good silverfish water, of course, is that it's perhaps led to the venue being a little bit pigeonholed as a silverfish venue only, and it's not. There's loads of carp in here, loads of F1s, and as you can see, it's just a really scenic, pretty lake with an awful lot of fishing. Now, one thing that I must mention when talking about this venue is they're really big on looking after the pleasure anglers. So I was talking to the venue owner this morning. He explained they don't do open matches because they like to leave plenty of lakes free for pleasure fishing. And if you have a look over on the Catch More Media Facebook page, I actually took a nice video of a chap called Bill bagging up on great big carp on the dog biscuit. So it's a lovely pleasure fishing water if you want to just come down for a day, and as I said, not too far to travel either. On to the match fishing. As I said, we've done 2 silverfish events here in the past few months, both of which have been prolific, but we're very keen to increase the profile of this place when it comes to carp fishing, which is why Gary decided to run this festival, 2-day Riddings Summer Festival. It's on point, so there's 2 sections in play today, and tomorrow those anglers will be fishing the lake below here, which is called the Riddings. So it's over 2 days, done on points, and there's a lake rotation, so anglers are going to get a go at 2 of the different lakes on offer. Method wise, now it's really interesting. As I said, that bottom Riddings lake that we were looking at, I think there'll be a lot of carp fishing on there. I think there'll be a lot of pellet fishing. I could see an awful lot of carp feeding down there today. So have a look at that video I've just put on the Catch More Media Facebook page, and you'll see that yourself. Bill had got them well and truly chomping on the dog biscuit. This lake, a little bit different. Massive head of fish in here, but a real nice variety. So a lot of F1s, a lot of goldfish, crucians, skimmers, and of course the bigger carp as well. So the thing with this lake, there we are, whether that's an F1 or a skimmer. A nice little bite for Steve, looks like one of the nice skimmers. You can see a real mix of species, you know. And looking round the lake, the anglers who are doing best from what I can see are doing exactly what Steve's doing, like a caster shallow type approach, catching a bit of everything. Because at the end of the day, the way it looks to me, one fish might be a 8-10 ounce skimmer like that one, and your next might be a 5 or 6 pound carp. So I think you can't be too selective on here. There's a bit of everything to catch, and from what I've seen, my prediction is it'll be the angler who takes what they can get all day and puts a real nice mixed net on the scales later that's going to come out on top on here. I have got the dates, folks, if you're interested, for next year's festival as well, which obviously will be 2024, and they're on the 4th and 5th of July, so that's a Thursday, Friday again. 2 days. As I said, the nice thing about this place, where it's located, being so central and so close to the M42, it's not a million miles from a lot of places really. About as central as you can get, and just off the motorway as well. So whether you're coming from north or south, you ain't having to travel too far, I wouldn't have said. So a little overview of who we've got fishing. We've got some brilliant anglers on this, as is normally the case with the On the Flyer festivals. Steve, as I say, he's a regular contender in all our events. And opposite him there, I think Steve Robinson's playing a carp. See if I can just zoom in a little bit for you. Definitely looks a bigger fish. I'm not going to keep focusing on him because it's gone a bit blurry, so I'll come back out. Phil Hemmings at the top, he was catching a few. As I walked past, he's an angler who does very well here, a regular. But I'll be honest, he wasn't running away with it. He was catching a few fish. It wasn't going mad. You can see there's an awful lot of mixed species in here. I'm looking round now and 3 anglers are all netting fish at this one moment. One's a carp. I'm watching Steve to see what that is. It could be an F1 that, or a small carp. And obviously we've seen Steve while I've been stood here, he's had carp just before I started filming this live. He's had a skimmer. I think he'll not be waiting too long before he has another fish as well. So a real mix of species on offer. Can't not give a mention to my old mate down there. You can just see him behind the trees, Gary Rogers. Normally he restricts himself to doing the match organising and the coverage, but today he's treated himself and has decided to fish as well, which has mean I've had to come out of retirement and do a little bit of live coverage for you folks out there. Another skimmer on here, look. I think it's a skimmer, looking at the way it's fighting. The thing I like about this place, folks, you can see, I mean, just look how nice it looks. Those lilies down the middle of the lake, the big fir trees all around the edges of the lakes, which do provide shelter. I've been here on some quite windy days before, and it's never too bad because obviously you've got the shelter of the trees to stop the wind from blowing too hard. And interestingly, as you'd expect with those features like those lilies, I don't know if you can see, if I zoom in, there's a lot of carp moving. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit for you. You can see all the carp moving along the side of that lily bed. Lots of fish in this lake. And you can just see some of the netting one in the top left. Let's get back on Steve because I don't think he'll be waiting too long before he gets another one. So a little insight into the festival and into what's happening today for you. As I said, we have got more events planned here, Summer Festival next year, and as I mentioned, a couple of winter silverfish type things which we'll be releasing details of very, very soon. So keep your eye on the On the Flyer Events website for that. That's ontheflyerevents.com. I'll be being updated over the next few weeks with details of everything that we've got up and coming at this venue. I just wanted to bring you a little bit of an insight. Looking up and down, it's a good close match this, you know. I've seen plenty of fish caught of different sizes, but I wouldn't say anyone's running away with it. It's a very close run affair. And I really do think it'll be the angler who feeds his net all day that comes out on top today, from what I've seen. Steve, of course, just fishing caster shell on a little overshotted rig. I'm going to call it Christian Jones style. Oh, that's a bigger F1, I think. That one's a skimmer. Or it might be actually. Is it? Skimmer again. But you can see they're well worth catching. They're sort of, if they don't come off, they're 10 ounce each, you know. They're well worth feeding your net with. And as I'm talking, we're pushing Gary at a fish from behind the tree. But hopefully that's given you a little insight, folks, into what we've got going on here. Ooh, another fish there for Will. So, well, that's a skimmer or not. Got plenty of bites all round and a real nice mix in terms of size of fish. So keep your eyes peeled, folks. The festival results will be on the Fly events page, or on the Fly TV page, should I say, tomorrow, and they'll probably be shared on Catch More Media as well, along with the daily results after today. But that's a little insight for you into the Riddings fishery and some of the lovely sport that's on offer.